Hi. So today we're going to look at the BI coursework assignment 2, which is the consulting report with some screen dumps describing your coursework, the lab work. So let's first have a look at the question paper. This is where you submit to. Let's have a look at the question paper. Blow it up a bit. So effectively this is a consulting proposal. Here is some introduction. So you're acting as a BI consultant to a fast-growing small to medium-sized enterprise, which in this case is Company W. It's a baking company that wishes to incorporate BI, analytics, dashboarding and elements typically found in emerging technology frameworks like SAP Leonardo to improve the business performance of the company. You've got to make a formally researched proposal that's referenced using materials found on Moodle, so that's the lectures, any case studies that we have there, YouTube, and in industry to advise your client what would bring about success and how it might be implemented. So that's what you should do. You can include graphics as well as just text. So you are looking to write a report that focuses on BI selection and deployment, so looking at software and how you deploy it. It should be written as if consulting for a firm, so you might do it in the form of a letter saying this is what we propose. It will fit in with your requirements as your customers' requirements. Aims to get the proposal accepted, because if you you get this extra 10 marks, which I'll show you in a minute. If rejected, you're going to lose those marks. Your screen dumps of lab work will be added as if showing the customer that you're consulting to what they could, what a current system actually looks like and how it can be used. So that's the due date, so just about a week away now. Submit online by Moodle, and I've actually put here the work must be submitted in PDF format. I think actually at one point I've put in here that it should be in docx format, so I guess we're going to accept both of those. Target word limit, it's a target, so don't worry if you go over it slightly or under it slightly. The word count should be stated on the consulting proposal cover. Use APA format for referencing, so it should be in alphabetical order, the references, and also all the other elements that APA format specifies. If your references are all just very general internet references, then that will lose you a few marks. Students are reminded of the need not to plagiarise, so don't copy somebody else's work, please. Any student suspected of plagiarising will be referred to the head of undergraduate programmes. This is just the standard wording which we're supposed to put in these days. You can do a Turnitin check if you want. The main thing is the question is, your report should answer these questions as a minimum. Why might BI be suitable for a company generally? What can it achieve? How might BI software and services change the way a company operates? What BI solutions suit Company W? And how might they be delivered? So you're going to do an introduction which includes those topics in your letter back to the company, and then say how Company W will be enhanced by the various improvements that these tools can give you. So here's a request for a proposal. This is what's come from Company W. They're looking for these kind of elements. So firstly, a little bit of a summary about the company. It makes millions of loaves per day, wraps and baps of different varieties. They might be bringing out a vegetarian sausage, for example. And so one of the things that they need to be able to know is how well are their products doing across the broad range of products that they sell. Now the company does have an ERP system from SAP, S4HANA. It's running all its back-end operations, but it still relies on multiple spreadsheets to track its progress and to predict future business. And so the head of IT at Company W has asked for proposals for business intelligence and analytics tools, and you should talk about those. Then you can show some practical examples, and then using screen dumps and a bit of text, and then you might have a conclusion on that. So here are some suggested tools, but you could use others. If you can research them well enough, then there's no reason why you shouldn't propose them. So they're suggesting that perhaps these are tools that you might use: SAP Business Objects for Office, data warehousing applications such as Business Warehouse on HANA, or the more recent BW4 HANA, which does a lot of the stuff that we've been doing in SAP GUI in the actual HANA Studio, instead of doing it outside. In-memory data modeling software such as SAP HANA, so we covered that extensively in the lectures, but we didn't get around to doing it practically, so you can reference the lectures. Predictive analytics and data visualization applications, so you can have a look online about SAP Predictive Analytics and Lumira. SAP Predictive Analytics allows you in a Visio type way to drag and drop algorithms in a visual format onto a screen, and then you have a data input, you connect to the various algorithms, and then there's an output from that to a writer device, which actually then puts the output, sends the output to wherever you define to send it. Predictive Analytics also has data visualization built in, but if you want to, you can use SAP Lumira, which is solely a data visualization tool, but there is actually a SAP Lumira server, which gives you a lot of capability for data visualization in lots of lovely formats. So the sources of data about that can be from Moodle and from your own researches on the internet. You might also use cloud-based applications such as SAP Analytics Cloud. So again, you can research that online. It's a tool of a similar caliber, or now better, I think, than Tableau. SAP have been really developing SAP Analytics Cloud hard, and it's now really bearing fruit. And in fact, they're actually adding some of the capabilities and graphical displays that SAP Analytics Cloud can do into BW for HANA. Business Intelligence and Analytics Suite, so there's another alternative which we have a server for, but we only use the Business Objects for Office capability, is Business Objects BI4. So the latest version of that, you could decide whether you wanted to put that forward. It's conceivable that other applications are equally suitable. That's what I'm mentioning Tableau there. A lot of companies would use. And there are other companies like SAS who have similar tools. Then also, the question talked about SAP Leonardo, which is a toolkit of applications that do things like Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, blockchain, data intelligence, those kind of things. Let's have a look. So in the detail, you're being asked, you would like to receive reports. This is Company W is inviting reports that include the proposals to the answer to the questions: which BI solutions will be most suitable for Company W? What benefits will result from deploying the software listed above? What impact would the software have on the operation of the bakery business, and how might the software be installed and implemented? You can then also provide illustrations on the software, There's a marking scheme overleaf, so we'll have a look at that in a sec. Either in use from your own experience, which you can do with Business Objects for Office and also Business Warehouse for HANA, or pictured in use and prepared with photos that are prepared by others, such as you might find online about SAP HANA or in the lectures or other locations. And you should be describing the form and function of each of the parts of the tools that you talk about. So that was the invitation from the company W and its board, what they were looking for. So now, when you're providing your BI consulting proposal, 35% of this assignment 2 is going to be coming from your report, and 15% will be for the screen dumps showing the practice in the lab. So this was actually nearer 50-50 before, but because we didn't get onto the HANA section of the course for the reasons we all know about in terms of the virtual machines not operating correctly, you've got a bit more scope to do better in the report this year. So a request for a proposal evaluation. Has the proposal been properly understood? So I'll be giving some marks for have you understood the question and are able to synthesize your response. The proposal, it is provided in context, fully fleshed out and summarized, so that you get some marks for that. Proposed solutions, are appropriate tools and techniques properly described? And what benefits will result from deploying the proposed software in terms of what list of reasons why they're going to be good for use at the company, and what benefits will result from deploying the software. What impact would the software have on the operation of the bakery business? So how is this going to actually help the bakery? So having talked about what the tools do, then you can say, well, how is this going to impact the actual company? By what means would the software be installed and implemented? So you can talk about if it's just a spreadsheet-based tool, you can put a spreadsheet add-in. If it's something like Business Warehouse on HANA, then you have to have a HANA database linked to a Business Warehouse server, and then you would install those on hardware, or you might have a cloud-based application for it, I guess, with a dedicated provider. That would be up to you. Then there'll be this 10% for does the proposal help solve the problem faced by company W? And a number of you have said to me, well, it doesn't actually specify what the problem is. The problem is that they don't have any software, so they don't have any means of working out what their split of products is and how well each one of them is doing at the moment, other than spreadsheets. So you know what Business Warehouse can do and Business Objects for Office can do, so you need to say what they can do with the tools. So you can show practical examples of multi-dimensional analysis from Excel pivot tables and BEO for Office. Data warehousing, we did build BI up to B5, create a data warehouse and populate it with data. So you're actually creating it, so the info objects, you're loading the data then from outside the data warehouse into it, and then you're flowing the data into the advanced data store object, which is where it can be made use of. We also did some use BI, so A1 up to, I can't remember, it was A4 I think I said, wherever we agreed. Undertake querying in Microsoft Excel and BW on HANA. Students should include carefully chosen examples of BI solutions in use, and be fully critically aware and critical of the tools that are available, etc. So it's okay to critique this assignment. In a report format, your consulting report should have a list of contents inside the front cover, with a report paginated at the centre bottom of each page, except on the cover. An abstract of 200 words after the index, which does not count in the word count, should be provided. A brief introduction to what the problem is and how you're going to solve it for the customer. A brief analysis of the problems to be solved, and then the solution elements which you're proposing. Conclusions or recommendations, a list of references, and if there are a lot of images, then a list of figures. You should use 10-point Arial font. The file should be docx format, but as I just said earlier, you could also put it in PDF format. And the file name should be BI underscore and then UP and then your 6-digit number. That's what the file name should be. And then here we've got some videos which show actually Warburton's operations, and you might want to have a look at that to kind of acclimatise yourself with that area. But the company W in the question is not Warburton's. You shouldn't assume it is. Okay, so that's pretty much what you've got to do. So I think I'll leave it at that. Make sure you get or do your best to get this in by the deadline, which is the 24th of May. I put here there will be no extensions beyond this date, but because I've had such a trouble with effectively having to do two people's work with the validation and various other things going on, of the new course, the MSc Digital Business Management, which was validated on and is now approved last Wednesday. So this year is very untypical in terms of where I am in terms of marking and what I'm doing with it, but for which I apologise. But I still haven't learned how to do two people's work at once. It's just very difficult to do that. So good luck with this assignment, and I will be marking the assignment 1 screen, the poster defences, directly after I've posted this video. So thank you very much for listening.